How we doing? Grand night, grand rising, great night. It's currently very late, so I will be being quiet. Excuse me. I will be keeping my voice low for this video to be mindful of the beings in this household, in this temporary experience. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I am sharing to you my mirage information that I received from my higher self that I put into this notebook. Okay, and this video is, I haven't made a title for it, it's just a rough draft. But basically, the topic that we'll be covering today is being consciously aware of your unconsciousness in the present moment, or how to be aware in the present moment and not have your thoughts control you that aren't yours. Not all your thoughts are yours. Thoughts slash urges control you. If you're living through your urges, when you're hungry, when you want to watch TV, when you want to go play the game, and you haven't worked on yourself, or you haven't done anything for yourself, you haven't been mindful of your thoughts, you haven't been mindful of, I was going to say your higher self, but you haven't been mindful of the ego. If you're not mindful of the ego, it will run you. It will run you. This is the parasite. It is the parasite. But you have to love it. You have to balance both sides out. It's about walking through that thin line of what you would call good or evil when these titles, unconscious titles, I say that because if you think about it logically, we don't need to speak to communicate with one another. Speaking was, or spellcasting was created to lower, not only to lower consciousness, not only to lower our consciousness, but it was created to cause confusion. This is the same thing. Created to cause confusion between one another, misunderstandings, and it was created to lessen our divinity. So, let's get into the key points. This is the notebook. I think I showed it. Here are the main ideas. Alright, my fault. I was just getting it together. So yeah, being consciously aware of your consciousness in the present moments. Are your actions benefiting you for your growth? Mental, physical, and spiritual. Mental and physical are the same, in my opinion. But physical, yeah, that's different. But at the end of the day, everything in the physical happens in the spiritual first. So, anyways, what you consume, what are you consuming on a daily basis? Are you being mindful of what you do? Are you scrolling on social media? Are you acting on your urges? If you act on your urges, if you act on your emotions, you're allowing your ego to run you. You're allowing the parasites to run you. Venom is a great documentary that talks about higher self and lower self, ego, higher self. But really, it's just, I believe I just talked about this. It's about walking on that thin line. And if I didn't just talk about that, that was my last cut. But anyways, it's about walking on that thin line between good and bad. Those two titles, I had to talk about that. And at the end of the day, it's just unconsciousness, right? But how did I want to say that? Never mind that. I was just going to say it's about embodying those two sides again, like I said earlier, the good and the bad, light and the dark, because the Almighty Creator is both. You can't just have one perspective, because life is about perspective. You have to see all perspectives for what they are and love that. You have to be consciously aware of how this temporary experience works and understand both sides of it. You have to understand the child trafficking, human trafficking, blood rituals, blood sacrifices, people selling their morals out. Not saying you have to accept that. You can be consciously aware of it. You can still have your own opinion on that. You can still have your own perspective on that and not fuck with it, because I don't fuck with that. That's why I'm spreading this message. My next video will be on transhumanism. And if I'm correct, my last video I talked about that I was going to make my next video on transhumanism. Let me slow down. Justin, ego, let's slow down, okay? I affirm to myself that I speak my thoughts clearly and concisely. Okay, let's go. So, yeah, I believe I said that life happens. Life happens. I'm trying to do my own things, me and my girl, we're trying to move into a camper. Life gets busy. It's no excuse though. I ain't gonna lie, it's no excuse, because there's always time for this. There's always time for this. There's always time to work on your passions and to work on what you love to do. Always. Let's see. I said mental, physically, and spiritually. I gave you the example, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on YouTube, watching unconsciousness, consuming unconsciousness, speaking unconsciousness. What is unconsciousness, you may ask? Unconsciousness are things that do not matter to themselves. If I'm talking about how the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and I'm talking about their score, I'm talking about what this player did, what this player did, how the coach was, how the team celebrated. I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. Does this serve my higher purpose? By giving my energy into these beings that don't give a shit about me? Don't give a shit about my family? What I'm going through? Why are they making millions not working? Why are they making millions acting in a Roman Colosseum? Think about this logically. Don't get your emotions in the way. If you get your emotions in the way, you're not going to see clearly. And you lost. That was the whole point. Not to let your ego run you. And you're never going to be separated from your ego until you transcend. So it's here with you. This parasite is here with you. Like I said, venom. A great documentary. Do you have accountability for yourself? What you consume, speak, people you keep around yourself. Yeah. Okay, next one. Heal the past and learn from it so you don't repeat the same. I don't know if this is a word, but I said recyclements. Recyclements of consciousness. This could also be any addiction. So foods, drugs / substances, habits. Okay, let's go back to the first part of that question. Heal the past and learn from it so you don't repeat the same recyclements of consciousness. And I forget what 2 words I'm obviously recycle the same of consciousness. Excuse me. I should have wrote it down, but my ego's tired right now, and I'm doing my best. One thing you have to understand is that the past and the future live in the present moment. There is only the present moment. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to get comfortable. There is the only present moment. There is only the present moment. And things that happen to you according to Saturn's, or I'll say the I don't think I'm saying that right, I ain't gonna lie to you, but the calendar. Gregorian. It's not Gregorian. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you know what I'm talking about. This calendar was made by Saturnalian cults, secret societies, or society of secrets. If you are living in the past, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. You will not be able to live for today or your future, which is you currently in this present moment. You have to embody that future self now. So even if you fail, get up, try again. Failing is winning. Losers are winners. The more you lose, the more it's like sharpening a knife. You only get better. A lot of people in society have underlying trauma within themselves, and it's, how does it creates this barrier, but it makes them not be able to love themselves. They don't love themselves for real. They're not able to look themselves in the mirror. For example, I will say women who get BBLs, you can do what you want to do, but you're getting this BBL for external validation. What else could I say? I mean, the examples are out there on social media. You can go on there and you'll see something. And if this person isn't being authentic to themselves, if they're not doing or creating content for the betterment of society, that's kind of, I was gonna say, they have They don't necessarily have trauma within them, but they are a part of the system and they are unconscious. So, kind of got off topic there. Nah, I didn't really get to the point. I ain't gonna lie. This could also be addiction, foods, drugs, substances, habits. Addictions. We all have addictions. We all have urges. Right. We all have an ego. We all have this physical vessel temporarily. Drugs, substances. So basically, recyclements, meaning you are recycling that same vibration of consciousness. So it's very easy to fall into habits through your days, through your day. Let's say you come home from work every day, 5 times a week, whatever you work. You come home. Your first thing when you do when you get home, you turn on that TV and you make some food and you chill. Nothing wrong with that. You can do what you want to do. But are you giving time to yourself? Just a little bit of time. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Go outside. Sit with nature. Listen to yourself. I wrote this down and I just remembered it. It is one of the key points. And it's a little bit farther down. It's actually the next one. Never mind. It's actually the next one. So it's this. Be better than you were yesterday. Mindfulness. The average American gets 43 minutes to themselves. Quiet time. Without outside mental/physical stimulation. And that was by the New York Post. And I feel like that is average. One of the articles said 7 minutes. That could be true too. It's probably ranged from 5 minutes to 2 hours or 1.5 hours. Maybe even 1. Because majority of people have bills, they have a job, they have kids, and they aren't living for their higher purposes. And I say purposes because we all have more than one purpose. You create your purposes. It's not this thing to where this is something that when I first became spiritually awakened or had my inner awakening, whatever you want to call it, people who would claim to be this title, spiritual or conscious, these titles, would never tell you, at least from my experience, maybe there are, but from my experience, they would never tell you how you could get to these purposes or how to find your purpose. And that's something I was always so confused about. This is just me. Maybe it's not just me, but I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. And so by me being mindful and giving time to myself, I will say I found what I enjoy doing. I enjoy making clothes. I enjoy journaling. I enjoy writing down affirmations. Basically, I enjoy loving myself. And I want to share that with as many reflections as I can. Excuse me. As many as I can. Because to be initiated or to be guided into loving yourself I was 18 when I first was, how you want to say that, introduced to the idea of there being more than just this 3D. Intuitively, I always understood that there was more to this than what meets the physical eye. But I can never comprehend that thought. I can never truly understand what that meant. And just because I was never shown that. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I was guided into loving myself at such a young age, at 18. There are other beings who gain that earlier on, but it's not a competition. Life is about you versus you. You have your own traumas to heal. You have your own passions to creatively express yourself through. There's no competition. It's all love. It's all compassion. It's all peace. It's all just good vibrations. You feel me? You feel me? But it's good to have friendly competition. It's good to have that. It's good to have that in your life. You want people around you that motivate you to be better than your last thought. Be better than you were yesterday. Be better than you were a month ago. Because you don't want to have a recyclement of the same actions or thoughts. Because thoughts turn into actions. The spiritual turns into the physical. What happens in the spiritual what happens in the physical happens in the spiritual first. Okay. Next one. Fulfilling your creative purposes through boredom. People allow their egos to run their life through mental stimulation and occultic trends. Let me read that one more time. Fulfilling your creative purposes through boredom. A lot of people, like I said before, a lot of people allow their egos to run themselves. So when they get bored, the first thing they do is they be trying to talk to someone. They'll call someone. They'll get on the game, hop in a group chat, start talking about unconscious things that don't really matter. My fault. Okay. Yeah. We live in a realm of existence built off of instant gratification. Instant gratification. AKA mental stimulation. These multi-dimensional, interdimensional beings that are you, the observation, want us in this realm of existence to neurologically be fucked up in our genetic makeup, our DNA. Because when you give off the frequency of You can call it any title you want. You can call it Lucifer, Satan, the Demiurge, the Antichrist. When they are able to insert that frequency into you, it becomes it becomes, you become a foot soldier for their agenda. You become a foot soldier for the system that keeps us enslaved every single day. Okay? Y'all hear me? Y'all staying with me? Occultic trends. Now, one example I can think of off the top of my head is, now this is some good knowledge right here. Good information. I won't say knowledge because I know nothing physically. The crate challenge, when beings were stacking up the milk cartons, not the cartons, but the crates, the milk crates, and they were stacking them up, and they were walking up them, and they would get to the top, and most of the time they would fall off, or if not, they would make it to the other end. That trend is based off of the Freemasonic hierarchy. Now, I don't, or the Freemasonic, what's the word? Not the rankings, but you could call it that. But the Freemasonic degrees, ranking degrees. I'm sorry. I can't think of it right now. But if you go on Google and you look up Freemasonic hierarchy, excuse me, I'm actually trying to stop saying that word, but I keep saying it. It's, habits are hard to break, but it's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, look up Freemasonic rankings hierarchy, and you will find that image that I'm talking about. I'll put it up on the screen right here. Okay. This is what it looks like, and this is the crate challenge. Off the top of my head, I'm not gonna lie, I can't think of anything else right now. But if I do, more will be on the screen. Okay. If your main focus in life isn't about healing and loving yourself and your bloodline and remembering who you've always been, which is just loving yourself, you have your priorities misaligned and you worship the beings that keep you enslaved physically and mentally. Right? We live in Roman time periods. We live in biblical time periods right now. And like I said earlier, sports, there's a saying, I forget who it's by right now, and I apologize for that. But bred in the circus, when you give civilizations entertainment, they won't revolt. They will be comfortable in their ignorance. And that was from the Roman Colosseum. That's that whole oh my god, I just said it again. Excuse me. It's late, but I'm working. I'm gonna put this out there right now. My goal is 3 weeks daily. Wait. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna keep that in too because I'm authentic. I'm authentic to myself. My goal is 3 videos weekly, and I will build off of that. And I'm putting that out there. Okay. Yep. Changing the page. You are comfortable residing in ignorance. It will keep and will keep being enslaved by your damnation. I heard something. Yeah. You are the reason why you are going through things in your life. Majority of society, I'm not gonna say majority, but a lot of people in society have victim mentality. Victim mentality is where this individual thinks that the reason why they are going through certain things in life is because of outside sources. They could blame their dog, they could blame their mom, they could blame this for doing this, whatever. It's lacking accountability for oneself. And that shit is annoying and it needs to stop. Because we need to be taking accountability for ourselves. Once you start taking accountability for yourself, you realize that you were the one who was in control of everything in the first place. You were the one who was in control of your life, the frequency you reside at, which is your experience in this life, temporary experience. You are the director, you are the actor, you are the actors, you are the background, you are the flooring, you are the stage, you are the sets, you are everything. Excuse me. That was confirmation. But let's continue. Releasing all religious and occultic ties in your life. Yeah. And I say occultic because the Bible, I will say any religious text is spellcasting to keep you in your damnation, spellcasting to keep you in your ignorance. Sorry, I just had to take a breath. Releasing all religious occultic ties in your life, occultic social media, sports. When you learn about Freemasonry and the hand signs that they give to show you what they are doing behind closed doors, because they're sorry, excuse me, I'm moving my leg. Oh shit, excuse my language. Because the smartest way, the most genius way to lie to someone is to give them the lies in their face, to surround them with lies, so much to where you don't know what the truth is. You've been brainwashed so much. I can word this better, but we're moving through. They have brainwashed you so much to the point to where you are inverted, upside down, reversed from your natural way of being. We're talking about living in nature, helping one another, gaining skills, life skills, to gain experience, to gain spiritual growth, not paying bills, paying taxes, all this bullshit. But anyways, they give off hand signs. Three I can think of right now is the OK symbol, which is 666, the Antichrist, Satan, false prophet, which is that's the unholy trinity. It could represent that, but anyways, you have the vow of silence, which is when they put their finger on their lips. I'm not going to do it because I do not bring these energies into my experience. I do not want to bring these energies into my experience. The vow of silence, which means they are telling you what they're doing without telling you, but they are showing you through the symbolism. We have another hand symbol, which I forget what it's called at this current moment, but it's where you put your hand on your thumb, on your chin, and it's kind of like a thinking pose, kind of, or like I look good type pose. Some, this pose symbolizes that, and this is from my perspective. I don't remember the exact definition from what I've seen, but it resembles basically this entity pretending to be not the disguise, the identity. This entity is pretending to be this identity while doing this hand sign, meaning that they are better than you, and they see, this is just my interpretation, they see themselves better than you, and they see you as a peasant. What's another one? This was something I learned recently. Now, contradict it, because there are some times where people may be doing this as a sign of unity, but you also have to contradict that as well, because the hand sign is what it is. It's when you put your two fingers together, and instead of the peace sign, you put it together like this. And so this is, I believe, if it wasn't on Baphomet, it was on one of the Luciferian gods, satanic false gods. I'm sorry, I can't give much on that right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. You have the I love you symbol in sign language, which represents devil horns. It is also the Islander peace sign. I don't know if it means peace sign off the top of my head right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's getting late. You also have the rock symbol, like music rock, where you throw up the index finger, the pinky, and the thumb. Sometimes you don't even gotta do the thumb. Those are devil horns. What else? What else can I think of right now? Off the top of my head, that's it for right now. There's more that I know, but I can give a easy one. Checkerboard flooring. Checkerboard flooring represents duality, meaning this is a saying from Albert Pike. He was a 33rd degree Freemason, and he said, I don't know the exact saying, I'll keep it a stat. but it don't really matter. Basically, the things that these free Masons do in private stays with them for eternity, but what they do in the public view basically cancels that out. The good that you do in the public cancels that out. So maybe you're asking, what types of things are they doing? Blood rituals, different types of rituals, blood sacrifices, that goes along with rituals. So many things. And I will get into that next video, my video on transhumanism, child trafficking, kidnapping, sexual abuse is very sad. It's very sad, but you have to understand that the beings observing that experience were put there for a reason. It's sad, but we are coming together as a collective to put an end to that, and I want to help that cause. And it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with you. By loving yourself. Be authentic to yourself. Speak up for yourself. Have confidence in yourself. I can't say a lot. Excuse me. It's very easy to not love yourself when you grow up in a broken family. And I say this from my own experience because it took me a while I said actually twice, so excuse me. It took me a while to love myself properly because I was never shown that growing up. I needed a father figure in my life, but I didn't necessarily have that to the fullest extent that I would want for myself. But those are just the cards that you're dealt with. That happens for a reason, for you to learn from. So alchemize this experience that you are experiencing and ask yourself, why am I experiencing this? And how does this, I'll say, how can I alchemize this experience for the betterment of myself and others? By moving with love and compassion, by being that parental figure / teacher / guide to not only family but others outside of that. We're all family. So I should say bloodline and others. But we all come from the same Luciferian bloodlines at the end of the day, just to keep it a stat. Give time to yourself through nature. Okay, it ended there. Give time to yourself through nature. Our mother's nature is your inward, outward, temporary experimentation. Okay, so when I said recyclement, that was not the word that I thought I put into two. Maybe it isn't a real word and I just created it, but experimentation. Let me read that one more time. Give time to yourself through nature. Our mother's nature is your inward, outward, temporary experientation of self. Experientation. Experientation. It just sounded nice. It just sounded good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. It sounded nice. Experientation of self. Nature is a reflection of you. Yeah, and this goes back to what we were saying earlier. What I was saying earlier. But I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning. I hope you're remembering who you've always been. But I will say this. Take my truth and alchemize it into your own. Because I heard something again. Because if you base your truth off of my truth, you aren't living for yourself. You're living for you are living excuse me. I'm trying to wake up. You aren't living for yourself. You aren't loving yourself. You don't have love for yourself. You are taking this perspective and mashing it into your own. You can't mash it. You have to alchemize it. How can this person's experiences, how can I take this person's experiences into my own and alchemize it to my truth? Ask yourself that. Because this is just perspective. Everything is just perspective. I am not right. I am not wrong. Just like how that's going into what we were saying earlier. You need to walk on that thin line between good and bad. Okay, you get it. Okay. But yes, give time to yourself in nature. Take a walk. Have a picnic. Go draw. Do a creative purpose outdoors. Make some clothes outdoors. Ride outdoors. Walk your dog. Walk your cat. You feel me? But anyways, that's gonna wrap up this teaching. I did have one more right here. I got another notebook right here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it. Lifestyle action. Who are you? Ooh, I don't want to mess this up. I'm gonna cut that out, by the way. I was just looking at my notes. But that's it for this teaching. I ain't gonna lie. If you stayed for this long, I'm gonna try to upload this to TikTok. I don't know if it's gonna go to TikTok, but I'm gonna try. Because I'm trying to be consistent in all my uploads across all platforms. I owe that to myself. I can do that for myself. Because I love myself. And I want you to love yourself as well. So if you want more teachings, if you want to be guided into divinity, I will never make you drink the water, but I will guide you into your own truth, your own divinity. By you being authentic to yourself, you are on that path. You are aligned with your higher self. But like I said again, physically, I know nothing. But spiritually, we all know everything. We're just remembering who we've always been day in and day out. If you're putting in the work, you gotta put in the work. If you're not putting in the work, you're going to fall back into a recyclement of consciousness that you may never escape. But I appreciate you for tuning in. I really do. I am grateful. I hope you learned something from this message. I hope you took down some notes and truly understand, if you do have trouble loving yourself, it's really one step at a time. Maybe you need physical action. You need to work out. Maybe you need to be more physical. You know what I'm saying? Take it one day at a time. Make a little plan. Do some push-ups. Take a little walk. Do some jump rope. Whatever you feel like is benefiting you the most, keep doing that. And remember why you started. Remember why you started. And feel that motivational energy that you felt when you first started. And alchemize that energy into the now. I love you. Have a great day.